Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time. I'm Sean. First off, this past weekend I did go see Neighbors, and I want to say that I really enjoyed it. I think it is the funniest movie this year so far, and it's going to be pretty tough to beat this one. Next contenders for funniest movie of the year are going to probably be 22 Jump Street, I think, and Tammy is probably going to be the other one. So with that being said, it was #1 in the box office this past week. Its opening weekend, it grossed $51 million. That's Seth Rogen's highest opening for a movie ever. It passed Green Hornet, which was $33 million. And this one actually beat out The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for first place in the weekend box office. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 dropped down to $37 million this second weekend. So that is actually pretty good for a second weekend, but for the type of movie that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is, it's not that great. But I am happy that Neighbors was able to knock it off its block, because I do think that Amazing Spider-Man 2 had some definite holes in it, and it was just not the best movie I've seen, and I didn't want it to be one of the money-making machines that is like, it's surpassing all these other movies like Captain America, which is a better movie than The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but may not, Spider-Man has more mass appeal, so it makes more money. So I'm happy that this happened. I want Amazing Spider-Man 2 to, have a good domestic gross, but I'm happy that Neighbors took it out. Neighbors is a really good movie. I definitely think you guys should go see this movie. And I'm very excited to see what can top this movie, Neighbors, in the box office this year in comedy. The second bit of news is that Channing Tatum is going to be playing Gambit. I haven't spoken about this over the past month or two because to me it wasn't that big of news because it was all rumors. It was revealed this week by The Hollywood Reporter that he will be playing the role of Gambit. Gambit will be in the movie X-Men Apocalypse, which will be filming and releasing after Days of Future Past. And then after Apocalypse, Channing Tatum's Gambit is going to have his own solo film. I really enjoyed Taylor Kitsch's Gambit. I thought he did a serviceable job. I thought he has the voice down. I thought he had the hair down. I thought he had the New Orleans kind of Louisiana feel to him. And I think that he would have been all right, and he would have been a good selection for Gambit if we're going to continue with that route. But seeing as they're rebooting the character and they're going to give it to Tatum. Tatum says that he is from that area of the country. He's born and raised there. I don't see it in his voice. He's done a good job of getting rid of any accent that he did have previously, if he did have one. Now, on a solo film, on that aspect of it, I definitely think that Tatum can hold a solo film better than Kitsch can. But does that mean that he's a better actor than Kitsch? I do not know. Dramatically, I don't know. I think Kitsch is a better dramatic actor than Tatum. I think Tatum's found his calling with some of these comedic roles that he's played, and I think that he should really try to go in that direction in the future. So for me, I think he's a bigger name for Gambit. So I think in the solo film, he's going to be able to pull that off with more. Of course, the women are going to want to go see him in this movie. But I don't know if it was going to be a better acted movie than if it was Taylor Kitsch. So again, I'm really excited about this news. I can't wait to see where they go with the character. I do have some reservations regarding this, but we'll see what happens in X-Men Apocalypse. I have a feeling that it's going to be a great movie, and I have a feeling Days of Future Past is going to be awesome. Comes out not this weekend, but next weekend, and I'm really excited for this one. So the biggest news of the week, it has been revealed. The new Batman suit and the Batmobile has been revealed. The picture is here for your viewing pleasure. A lot of people are comparing this Batsuit more towards the Miller version of the Batsuit in The Dark Knight Returns. I definitely think it has that similar smooth, nice, clean look to it. I definitely think it has that. I want to see what colors it has in it. If it's going to be black and gray, if it's going to have the blue. From what I've heard from really devout comic fans is that the blue in the suit in the comic book was only there for texture and lighting purposes to show shades and things of that nature. So the suit was actually supposed to be black and gray. So we'll see if it goes with that motif. It still stays with the black and gray. I think that would actually be really cool. The cowl, the ears on the cowl are a little bit shorter than what we're used to with the Christopher Nolan Batsuit and the Burton Batman. we'll see what is going to happen when they actually produce a color photo of this. This photo was in black and white, so it does leave some of this to the imagination. And so moving from the Batsuit, you got the Batmobile in this one. The Batmobile looks like a cross between some of the stuff from the old Batman series, the Burton Batman Batmobiles, as well as the Christopher Nolan Batmobile. Kind of a hodgepodge of the two put together, because it does have the bulky tires. It does have a bit of a metallic, like army type look to it, but it is more narrow on the top end, like more for speed, like the older I guess you could say old school Batmobile. So I would like to see like more pictures, more in detail pictures with this. Maybe a video where they actually go in there and show us what's on the inside. It'd be really cool if we can get that. I really like what Zack Snyder's doing, releasing these images, giving us, I guess, a little tease and giving us a taste of what's to come. Alright guys, in theaters this week, there's only one movie I care about. I've been very excited for this movie. It is Godzilla. Godzilla's coming out this week. He's going to go through all the towns and mess them up, and I think he's going to be in the #1 spot in the box office. As my friend Ludacris would say, he's going for that #1 spot. I'm really excited about this movie. I am definitely going to go see it this weekend, hopefully on Saturday. I just can't wait to see. Hopefully my mind is blown as much as I think it's going to be. I really loved what they did in Pacific Rim, and I hope that they can duplicate this, but put it a little bit more serious level and develop more story to go with this Godzilla movie. I definitely am excited for this movie. Alright guys, movie of the week this week is a documentary. It is called Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father. Now this film was directed and written by Kurt Kuhn, who is actually a friend of the main, I guess you could say main subject of the movie. He was a childhood friend of Andrew Bagby. They were best friends, and at one point in his life they did everything together. They filmed his movies when he was filming when he was younger. They did everything together. So he loves this guy. It's his best friend ever. He goes through this documentary trying to tell the story of why Andrew was so loved and so, he will be so missed, to his son that he never met. Andrew Bagby was killed by his lover, Shirley Turner. Based on what I saw in the movie, I definitely think that Shirley Turner had some psychological issues. Again, though, this is a documentary and this is mainly from that side. So from the perspective I'm getting, I definitely saw that she had some psychological issues. And so she was pregnant when she killed him. It was very sad in the movie to see everything happening and to see from the perspective of the family and friends, to see their opinions of what was going on, to see how he reacted to their warnings of her being a little off. It was sad to see the story go the way it did in Andrew's life. It went from he's this very loved man, and he got in with the wrong woman, and it turned out to be for the worst. She ended up being pregnant with his baby at the time of his death, and the documentary continued from there. So what the director Kuhn did is he kept on going across the country to England, to everywhere all over North America, to meet and interview all these people that Andrew met along the path of his life. All of them had really great things to say about him, and it made me so happy to see this. I hope that in my life I can have the effect on people that Andrew had on these people in his life. I hope that in some way I could have that. Throughout the documentary, Kuhn keeps on collecting information, collecting interviews, collecting all this data, film, digital cameras, photography. He also continues to tell the story of what happened and what took place on a timeline regarding the trial and whether or not Shirley Turner was going to be convicted and put in prison or not. So throughout this story, it goes on to the point where the baby's born, and the grandparents, Andrew Bagby's father and mother, are trying to get custody of his child, their grandson, from Turner. Throughout this period, it keeps growing. They grow attached to the baby grows attached to them and has a connection with them. This connection is stronger with the grandparents than Shirley Turner, and the baby, just not by any, I mean, the baby is a baby. He was 13 months old, and what he knew and loved was the grandparents more so than Turner. The baby chose the grandparents over Turner, and I guess this again triggered this decision in her head to go down a dark path. What she did then was sickening to me. It hurt me so much, seeing how it hurt the grandparents, but she ended up taking the life of the baby as well as her own life, and just left the grandparents in shambles. The grandfather, David Bagby, was furious. He was mad. He hates her. He hated what happened. He hates what she left them with the hurt that his wife Kate is feeling from the loss of their grandson. Kuhn keeps going with the story though from there. He doesn't know when he's going to end, but he finally figured that the story is not going to end and not going to be quit on at that point, because what the story is truly about is that it turns out to be about the grandparents, David and Kate Bagby. Because if you know Andrew and if you know Zachary for that 1 year of Zachary's life, you know that they were both raised by these two people that spread their love and spread their generosity, and were just great people to know. That everybody around them not only loved Andrew but loved the parents, Kate and David, because of who they were. Same as with Andrew. This is a very touching movie. I definitely had a tear shed a couple times during this movie, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's so heart-wrenching what happened in this story, what happened in real life, and it's at the same time it's touching because the grandparents became activists afterwards. They are working towards a goal of trying to correct some things that are wrong with the judicial system, I guess, that have to do with maybe bail, have to do with time periods over how long things are taking to go to court, and you also just see how much love there was in that family and the people that were connected to him. It was very touching. I definitely recommend everybody go to see this movie. It's on Netflix right now, and you could stream it right now, and it's about an hour and a half, and it's definitely a good watch. Have some tissue with you, of course. Again, it's a very touching movie, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm glad I saw it, even though it did make me a little weary at times, but I'm glad I saw this movie. Thank you for the recommendation, guys. Alright guys, so that's it for Movie Time this week. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, inquiries in the comments section. Let's have a great conversation this week. We'll see you next time.